So everyone, Marnie is on her way down now. We're going to do a little podcast with her. She owns Shop Tresor. She's Lord Sugar's business partner. She's a very, very, very intelligent woman. And yeah, people, if you're not part of the Crep Chief Notified membership yet, for those of you who don't know, it's a great little side hustle that you can do. You're basically going to resell things like sneakers, air fryers, PS5s, limited edition Pokemon cards, all stuff like that. We'll basically tell you when you can buy all these items. All you have to do is just follow our advice, buy the items. And people, I can't recommend it enough if you're looking to make some extra cash on the side of your full-time job, or if you're a uni student or anything like that. And yeah, on with the potty. So Marnie, thank you for coming on the podcast. We really appreciate it. Our first question, have you always wanted to be an entrepreneur?
Have I always wanted to be an entrepreneur? I think that's a strange question because it's like, define entrepreneur, right? People see entrepreneurial.
Entrepreneurship.
Entrepreneurship. People see entrepreneurship as so many different things. Like, you know how people make jokes like, when boys are like younger and they sell the sweets in school, they make jokes like that might be entrepreneurship. Or, you know, some people say that being a business owner is not being an entrepreneur. Like, it's very, very different. But I'd say I've always wanted to be what I am now. Whatever it is, I've always wanted to be like that.
So I was just going to say, if you always wanted to work for yourself.
Yeah, I have. I've literally never been able to listen to anyone, not my dad, not my teachers, nothing. Like, I have this thing in me where if somebody tells me to do something, I want to do the exact opposite. So I have never been able to keep a job or do well in school or things like that because I just have always wanted to go my own way.
Did you have any jobs before, like, starting off with, like, business and stuff like that?
Yeah, so I taught myself web design when I was, like, 16, and I was making websites and kind of doing social media for, like, local restaurants and, like, local clinics and things like that. But that's like, it's not really a job. It was more freelance kind of thing.
Yeah, it's not self-employed.
Yeah, it's still self-employed. Like, even from that young, I knew that this is what I wanted to do. But yeah, I never had a job. The reason I started my business was because I couldn't get a job. Yeah, because I grew up in a very like strict Asian family, and my dad was really like, you don't need a job, just carry on with school, you can get a job after. And I was like, okay, but I want money. Like, come on, I need money. I want to spend money. But you know, I had to find a way to get it. So that's kind of when my business came about.
So what, like, even, like, caused you to start the web design thing? Was you just, like, thinking of things that you could do as, like, a side hustle type of thing? Or was you, like, did someone, like, put the idea into your mind?
Yeah, I actually can't remember, to be honest. I actually cannot remember. Because it was very, very spontaneous. It was, like, I wanted to write a blog kind of thing. Yeah. And then from that, it kind of went on into, okay, this is easy. Doing a website is easy. Like, I did it through Shopify and then like, you know, Wix and WordPress and whatever. And I was like, you know, this is a piece of cake. I may as well like make some money out of it. And I was charging so little. Like, I was charging like £150, £100 an hour.
For a whole website?
For a whole website. It would take, I don't know what I was thinking, because it would take me like a whole week. And in my head, I was like, oh my God, I got £100 now. I got so much money. I thought it was a lot of money back then, but yeah.
So I guess that's not bad when you're 16 though.
Yeah, it's absolutely bang on. Like, even like starting so young, like one thing I always think is like the younger you start, you know, when you're like 30, 40, you're bound to be like extremely successful if you've been going for that long, especially if you can like keep it up and you don't like decide, you know, this isn't for me. But I think for people who start like entrepreneurship and start like their own business, I think there's no going back. Like for you now, is there any thought in your mind of ever going back, like to working a job or wanting to do that?
Do you know, people sometimes say like, what are you going to do if it fails? I can't imagine it failing. I can't. In my brain, it doesn't exist. Like, there's never a situation where I can see myself going to work a job. It will just, it's not something that I ever want to do.
You can't picture it at all.
I can't picture it.
I can't imagine getting served by you, Marnie.
Yeah, could you imagine?
It's a retail job.
No way.
At this point though, you're so obviously, wow. At this point, like, you're so successful and stuff like that. Even like now, even if you was like your business was to fall apart, you could just start up another business. That's one thing I always say is like, not that I don't expect it to like fail, but it's like even if everything was to go catastrophically wrong, I would like the amount of stuff that I've learned now, I could always go back and just start a new business, and like there's no fear. And I think once you get over that kind of fear, then it's like,
yeah, exactly. And as well, if I'd started a business now compared to what I started 3 years ago, I would be able to do in a year what it took me 3-4 years to achieve, because I've learned so much. And when you're like young and you have that drive to do something, you'll be able to do it anyhow you find.
So was there any point like, so you start this like web design business and stuff like that, was that the first ever thing you ever started like making money?
No, so before that it was Depop. It was Depop. It was my, I was like you guys at one point. I was a little bit of a reseller. I found literally when I started going to college, I was like, I think I was 16 when I started college. You're 16 when you started college, right?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
I was 16, and prior to that, obviously, I didn't grow up very like in a very affluent family or anything like that. So it was like natural to shop in charity shops or things like that. And when you're in charity shops and you're, Red Cross and whatever, they have branded clothes in there. There's Nike in there and there's Adidas in there.
It's like thrifting, isn't it?
It's like, it's a trend now, but back then it wasn't. But, I would be like, what? This is like, everybody else is wearing this. Like, I can wear the same stuff. So I'd buy it and it would be like £5 or £10. And I'd go to college and see like kids in the same stuff and they'd be like, oh, I got it from ASOS, it was like 80 quid. And I was like, what? I was like, huh? Everything starts clicking, right? Yeah. You're like, okay, this is what I can do. And then, so I started trying to do it through Depop, eBay actually in the beginning, and then Depop came about. And thinking back, between everything, like the postage and the fees and things like that, I probably wasn't even making that much money. Like I was not making that much money, but it felt like that was my very first steps towards that independent money. Because obviously I never had a job before, but that was my first kind of thing.
Well, you was just buying and selling stuff, weren't you? So
Yeah,
I guess it taught you a lot.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, and that's obviously like a really common side hustle, like just to going around like to charity shops, to car boot sales and stuff like that to buy stuff. What actually gave you the idea to sell it on? Was you just like thinking like, oh, I can just like, I bought this for £5, I could easily sell this on for like £20?
Yeah,
because it just like instant, did you know yourself?
As soon as they were kind of like, yeah, I got it from here, whatever, and I looked on ASOS, I was thinking, are these guys dumb? Like this is, it literally, I was like, seriously, why would you do that? Because when you grow up like the way I grew up, you're very like, you know how to like be frugal, you know how to not spend money and still have things.
Yeah.
So I was thinking like, why would they do that? Why are their parents doing this when they can just go and get it from other places? And I was like, okay, hang on. If people like them are going to buy it, other people are going to buy it.
Yeah.
So it kind of like, it just clicked for me in my brain and it's just what I did.
Well, the easiest option for everyone is to just go on ASOS and just buy it into it. So,
Yeah.
like, obviously you was just using your own initiative elsewhere.
But obviously it's even like go on Depop and stuff like that and actually like go around. People buy second-hand clothes all the time. It's so common for people to buy second-hand clothes even now, like especially when we first started reselling. Like when reselling like of sneakers really got like really popular, it was very common for people to buy like second-hand reselling sneakers for like even like above the retail price, even though they're second-hand. So for people to buy, second-hand clothes, I wouldn't even say it's that frowned upon anymore, realistically. Like, it's not even...
Really. Yeah, it's more encouraged now because sustainability, whatnot. It's become more of a trend to wear second-hand things because it's better for the environment.
Yeah, like the fast fashion things right now is really, really big in it. Like, a lot of people hate that.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, even the big fast fashion brands like Pretty Little Thing has come out with their renewable marketplace
that
thing.
launched this week, didn't it?
Yeah,
I actually looked at it. We was actually on about it the other day.
Yeah.
That's a sick idea for them, to be fair, because
really
we was looking at the statistics of like the biggest pollutants in the world, and like fashion is like the second biggest pollutant in the whole world. Like that's insane. Like just after transport. So to think about like stuff like that, it's absolutely crazy. And I imagine the like Pretty Little Thing and that it's known for like buying clothes that are like gonna get worn once and then they're getting rid of. Like that's a terrible, terrible.
People literally just spend. It's so cheap that you can just buy like loads of people just buy like £200 worth, don't they, and just return like 50% of it. Like the returns there is mad, isn't it? Why is it like what was the statistic? It's like 80% of Pretty Little Thing orders get returned, I think.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
That is
mad,
ridiculous.
isn't it?
Think about the transport of actually just like even just like shipping out and then for it to get returned. It's like going both ways. It's absolutely insane. So going on from like when you obviously was doing this website development and stuff like that, how did you get into Tresor? Was Tresor your next business after the website design and stuff like that?
Yeah, so the website design stuff, I wouldn't even call it a business. Like I did not know what I was going. It was more like a little bit freelance kind of thing. But the first thoughts of Tresor, I'm South Asian. I grew up like around a lot of gold, like big chunky bangles and things like that. You probably see it in like your Indian movies and stuff like that, where they just wear so much gold. Yeah. And it was like a thing that I was naturally very attracted to. Like I was very like, I love this look and I love this gold. But when I was younger, obviously my grandma, like my mum, whatnot, they wouldn't trust me to wear it out of the house because it was obviously gold. It was expensive. And I kind of wanted to create a solution to that problem.
Wow.
Because it was like, I want to wear this, I want to look like I'm wearing this gold, but I can't physically wear this out of the house for fear of being robbed or losing it or whatever, whatever. I keep saying whatever, whatnot. I don't even know where I picked that phrase up from. But anyway, so I wanted to create a solution to that problem. So I started getting like gold chains and gold charms and putting them together, kind of making my own necklaces and things like that. And I just thought, this is great. This is what it is. But it flopped so hard, because I thought, I didn't know about materials. I hadn't done enough research. Like I should have done more. And those, like I'd started making my social media and started like, you know, telling people at college and whatever, and selling this jewellery. And people were coming back to me like, Marnie, I'm sweating and it's making my neck green. Or like, my hands, it's giving me a rash. And I'm like, I don't even know. Right. Like, I don't even know what's going on. Turns out it has nickel, like copper, lead, things like that in it, which is so bad for your skin. And, you know, you see those TikToks about the guys with the fake chains and they have the marks. Like, it's those kind of materials. And I didn't realise that, because I thought, oh God, this is so cheap and this is great. I can make a lot of profit on it. I didn't realise that it was going to be harmful, and I was going to have to end up refunding so many orders anyway and losing out on all the money. I
actually seen like a TikTok this morning, and it was basically saying like, there's something about wedding rings. Don't actually know why I got hit by this. Like, it's not actually happening, but and it was basically saying like, you shouldn't buy like white gold ones. You should buy platinum ones because of that exact reason. And they broke it down.
So does like natural gold on its own like tarnish your like skin?
No. So like, it depends. Well, gold never will tarnish on your skin, but the carats, depending on the carats, it can be very soft. So I remember growing up with my grandma's bangles, like if the bangle was a circle, I could go like that and I'd be able to squish it. That's why like the gold is a very soft material. So the same with silver as well, like sterling silver, it's very soft. And the mistake that people make when they shop online for jewelry is like they'll buy silver jewelry that's plated in gold, but gold does not stick to silver properly. Like it will fade off and eventually it'll go back to silver.
Yeah, that's what they were saying on that TikTok this morning. It was basically like you'll have to get that polished or whatever and replated every 6 months. Whereas platinum will last like years
platinum,
and years.
Steel is great. We use stainless steel recycled with 18 karat gold double plated on top, and it lasts ages and ages and ages.
Wow,
how did you actually go about sourcing this in the start? Surely that's like a massive task by itself.
So starting the jewellery, like in the very beginning when I was 17 when it launched, and that was literally just, I made an Instagram page. I was selling it a little through Depop at the time, but I was like, I don't want to do this, it looks rubbish. I made a website. And I just was promoting it on Instagram. And I would use like, you know, the boost feature on Instagram posts. I'd try and use that, put £10 in. I'd be like, oh my God, I'm getting followers now. And like, do you know, like that? And I would make a little money. There would be I remember back then as well, there would be some times where I would go a month or so and I would not even get one sale. And I would I would be so depressed. I'd be like, I don't know what to do, because I don't come from like a family with a business background or anything like that. And I was like, what can I actually do? And I had this friend, I need to tell you this story after. I had this friend though who also had a business, and you know, she would say like, it's normal, it's fine, it happens to me. And I was like, do you know what though? I don't want it to be normal. Like, this is not what I want. If I want a business, I want money coming out of it. So like I kept going all through college. And then when I left college, because of COVID, when the lockdown happened, I didn't get to finish college. So during that time, that's when things really kind of blew up for me, when I put effort into the social media. TikTok became a big thing. And that's kind of where the actual, I'd say, the beginning of the business was, rather than back then when I was just like trialing and erroring.
So was it called Tresor from the start? Like, has it always been called that?
Where does that name come from?
It's a French word for treasure.
Wow. I like it. It's a good name. So like you was running. Obviously, you was running. How long was you running it before you was like making like a good amount of sales and stuff like that? Like before like COVID, I suppose.
I would say I remember this one. Oh my God, I remember this one time in college. People knew about the business because I'm a loudmouth. Like I love talking about things. So I'd be like, I'm do this, and I do that. And also I would pack my little parcels and I'd put them in my rucksack and take them to college and like post them at the post box near college, because there was no post box near mine. And like one time my business teacher asked me, like I was like one of them naughty kids in class, and she loved me because she loved the naughty kids. So she was like, what are you doing? Like, why do you always have them in your bag? And I was like, it's my little business. Like, this is all my little jewelry. Like, look. and she was like, oh yeah, like how much are you making? And I was like, do you know what? You're not even going to believe me if I tell you. And she was like, what? How much? And I was like, I'm making £3,000 a month. I'm making £3,000 a month. And she was like, what? She was like, £3,000. And to me at that time, I was like, £3,000 is so much money. It feels like loads of money.
Are you still 16 at this point? Yeah.
I was 17. I think I was 17. Yeah,
still very good.
And she was like, wow, that's so impressive. And I felt so chuffed. And then like, to me, that was like, you know what? I've done great. I've done good. But I wouldn't say I didn't have faith in myself, but I never had the feeling that it was going to become what it became. I knew it was going to become something, but I just didn't know what. But yeah.
That's absolutely sick. So it's mad. So like, do you think like a massive amount of the success was like, did it like start to pop off like this £3,000 a month stage? Was that during COVID or was that like before or like?
That was before.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess.
So where was all that like sales coming from? Was it just like because you was like doing Instagram and stuff like that? How did you like build it up at the start? Like what was you doing? Was you just doing like stories, posts? Obviously Instagram Reels weren't a thing then.
No, they weren't.
So how was you like gaining customers?
Gain followers and then convert followers, really, innit?
So I think back then it was easy to post a photo or a video and get on the explore page.
Yeah.
So I think most of my followers came through that. I don't know how though, because the content looking back was like so shit. Like it was so bad. So bad. I wouldn't follow it myself, but it came through that and also through influencers. Like I was giving free stuff, and also I was a little bit of an influencer myself. Like I had like 10k followers, a little fashion page, and so I'd built like lots of friends that were also influencers and who had more followers. So I would send them free stuff, and they would be so excited about it because it's the first free things they're getting, and they would post it, and I started to build that way. Because I had no idea I had no mailing list. I didn't have like any ads, nothing that I do now I did back then. Yeah. So it was very, very limited. Like the $3,000 was like the max I'd ever make in a month.
Yeah.
And then during COVID, like when everything kind of shut down and we were all at home, that's when sales were at their absolute best.
Did you worry at the start though? Like as soon as lockdown
do you know
got
what
announced,
it was? I was actually really grateful because when we went into lockdown, it was inevitable, like we were going to go into lockdown anyway, but for me, I was grateful that I had something that I could focus on, because otherwise I knew I'd just be sitting there dead bored doing nothing. Like I focused so much on Tresor that it forced it to become what it became.
Yeah, I think that's exactly the same with us, to be honest. We were at the start when lockdown got announced, we was like pretty nervous really. Like I remember we put like a banner on the website and whatever, because obviously back then we was pushing people to buy from in-store, so everything closed down and basically had to switch the business to everyone buying online. But in the end it turned into like best thing ever really.
And I think like when COVID first hit, like we'd never done like a day where we didn't get like any sign-ups, and then when like COVID hit we started getting like days with no sign-ups and we was all like, oh no, like,
it's
what's
just like
gonna
a week or
happen?
two.
Yeah.
I think it's different because my product is like in the price range that people will buy it for the like instant gratification you get of like buying a piece of clothing online, or just for fun, just for whatever little bit of money they have, they will just do it because it's so affordable and so high quality. It pushed people to just be like, okay, you know what? Because a lot of my marketing was like, this is an investment in yourself and this is going to last you, and this people are like, oh, okay. So they buy it. Yeah.
What is the cheapest product you do?
What, say again?
What's the cheapest product you do?
The cheapest product, probably some of like the plain chains, like this one that has no design on it. These ones start from like 25.
That's cheap, isn't it?
Yeah, I was expecting like rings and stuff like that. They're more expensive than like 25.
Slightly, like they'll go up to like 40 is the most expensive product I have.
Really?
Yeah, I tried to keep it really, really affordable. So, we double plate everything, so it costs a little bit more. So profit's a little bit less, but it because it lasts so well, people just keep coming back.
Yeah, it is better to make.
Have you been product. Have you been like changing like the way it's made and stuff like that over time, or is it like how did it start off like in that terms? Because obviously that's a very complicated part of it, like figuring out how to make actual like decent quality jewelry that actually like stays like it doesn't like
it doesn't go green.
Apart, I suppose, and go green.
Yeah, product development is the most difficult part. Like I tried so hard in the beginning. Like I said in at the start, the jewelry was like turning people green, giving them rashes and things, and I couldn't figure it out because I didn't understand. I didn't understand science. I didn't understand materials. I didn't know. I just didn't know. So when I figured it out, I obviously had to cut the losses, get rid of those products. I couldn't sell them. But before I did that, I bought a sealant. So like, do you know?
Like a spray kind of thing.
Do you know when you get these metal pipes, and you put something on them to stop them corroding?
Yeah.
So I got a little can of that and I dipped the jewellery in that. I'm not even joking. I would dip the jewellery in that.
Idea, though. Yeah, it's not a bad idea, to be fair.
And then I would put it on a hanger and I would hang it in the garden to dry. And it would dry. I'm not joking. And it would dry and I would sell it like that, but it made the chains stiff and things like that. So it just wasn't. So I was like, okay, I've just got to get rid of this. And then I looked into it. I was like, okay, I looked at all the, I went back to the shop I got it from and I looked at all the, not the ingredients, looked at all the materials, I looked at all the materials and what's inside there. And I was like, okay, this is this. Let me go and look at jewelry. Like, I looked at competitor brands like Pandora and things like that. And I was like, but Pandora is so expensive and their jewelry does the same thing. It does the same thing. So I was like, okay, so I'm looking at all these brands and looking at all this jewelry and all these materials. What's the common stuff that's doing this to people? And then because there was not a lot on Google at the time. Like at the time, there was not much stainless steel jewelry in the UK. There was not much double plating, things like that. Yeah. There's like 2 or 3 brands that were before me that I found that could do that. So I looked at their materials and I was like, okay, what can I do to make it work but better? So that's when like the double plating came about. Like we double plated it so it lasted. So people were saying, oh, it's plated once, it's going to last you 6 months. I was like, okay, we'll double plate it twice, it'll last you a year. Yeah. And it did. And that's been the evolution so far. Yeah. But you know, I think sometimes, what if I triple plate, it'll probably last you like even longer, but it'll cost me too much. Yeah. But
so, as someone who knows how much jewelry and costs and stuff like that, how much do you think it costs for like a Pandora bracelet, like for Pandora to make it? Yeah.
Oh my god, that stuff is like, without slating Pandora, like probably a fiver. Yeah. At most, because it's terrible. It's really bad quality, and you can see.
How much did it sell like a Pandora bracelet for?
£80-90 with all the little charms. Yeah.
And how much would you be selling a similar thing for?
I would never sell something like that. I would never. If I sold a bracelet, my bracelets range from like £20 to £30, £40. Like there's nothing is more than 40 quid on my website unless you get like an engraving, a custom engraving or something like that.
Oh, so it's like an upsell.
Yeah, it's like a little upsell.
The true price of Pandora.
Yeah.
I know. That's mad.
That's a good one. But anyway, so like obviously like it's obviously quite hard. And do you think now that's still the hardest part is like making jewelry that's like obviously really good quality? Do you think that's like a very hard part for you now, or like do people complain that it only lasts a year, or is that like typical?
It is typical, but what we do have is free replating. Mm-hmm. So if after a year my customer decides to come back and say, okay, but do you know what it is? After a year, it's not going to be completely silver. Yeah. It will still be gold. It will just be a little bit faded, maybe like a little bit has come off or something like that. But it will never be like noticeable. Like up to 3 years, you probably won't even notice that there's anything wrong with the ring. Yeah. But so I'm based in the jewellery quarter, and we have like gold plating machines and things like that. They can send it back. I can plate it and send it back to them. It'll only cost me.
Machines?
Yeah, I have a lot of my own machines. We have this new machine as well that can like. Do you know how them rappers can cut like get their name cut out and put diamonds in it? Yeah, and we can do that now. Like, wow, yeah, that's sick. It's a lot of machinery.
Have you ever thought about like Have you ever thought about like making diamond jewelry and stuff like that, or you just like sticking like do you do just gold jewelry, or do you do like silver and stuff like that?
So I do some silver, but mostly gold, because I found in the market there was less gold jewelry that's not turning you green. Because sterling silver is like, it's affordable enough. You can get it for like 20, 30, 40 pounds as well. But if you plate silver with gold, again, like I said, it will come off. And there was not enough gold going on that people could wear that was like not going to be gross on their skin. Like the jewelry that I have is electroplated, which is like, it's not dipped in gold. It's like put in a solution, and the gold gets stuck to the stainless steel. Like it's different. So there was not much of that out there. So that's kind of why I wanted to just focus on gold.
When you found out about like the jewelry going like green, turning people green and whatever, like was it literally like a bad review?
Yeah, it would be bad reviews, it would be emails like, oh, look what this has done and blah, blah, and I'd be like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Let me just refund you, and I would just refund everyone, because I couldn't, like, as well, back then, I hadn't built this thick skin of like now I'm, whatever, my videos regularly go viral on social media, like I've built that thick skin, I don't care anymore, but back then, one bad review would like, I'd feel it in my heart, I'd be like, hard. No, like, you know, but yeah, so I just refunded everything when it went wrong.
That's mad.
So going on to like, so did you go to uni and stuff like that? I can't remember if that was true. I think you might have told us that last time.
So I went to Aston Uni for like 6 months. I did marketing, then I dropped out to just focus on my business, because I felt really, I wasn't feeling challenged. I wasn't feeling like, okay, this is something that's stimulating my brain. Like, I just couldn't do it.
So how come you even decided to go to uni? Like, what was Tresor up to at the point of like deciding to go to uni and stuff like that? How come you even decided to go there in the first place?
So I think that was ridiculous as well. I don't know why I did that, because I was making a good amount of money. I was like, at that point, turning over my first 6 figures in a year. Yeah. And I was like, when I went to uni, I was actually thinking, why am I at uni? And I had this friend who was like, okay, this is what you're going to do. You're going to go to uni, you're going to come out of uni, and you're going to get a job that's going to pay you 30 grand or something. Yeah. And he's like, you make that in a month in your business. Why are you doing that? What's the point? Like, I was so like confused, because I thought that uni was the career path. Like uni was like the life path that everyone has to take. Everyone's going to do it. But I had never thought that. And because my family is really big on education as well, and most Asian people are, like, they push their children to go into education and become doctors and whatever. I feel like I was saying something. I feel like I had a point. Okay, I'm going to do that again. Yeah, So yeah, like most Asian people push their children to go into careers that require a degree.
Yeah.
But I just didn't want it. I wasn't having fun, and I was like, I'm not gonna force myself to do something where I'm not feeling like I'm having a good time.
Yeah. You was enjoying the
Yeah, I was enjoying. I had my own office. I had a little team. Like I didn't want to. And it would be like this. I'd go to uni in the morning, finish, and then go to my office and like go home. It was just silly. Like I was just wasting my time at uni because I wasn't even learning anything.
Was you in uni just working on Tresor?
Yeah, I was just in the library like doing something on my computer. But yeah.
What did your parents think and stuff like that when you dropped out? Was he supportive?
So my mum is very supportive. I'm really grateful to have my mum because she was like, yeah, do you know what? Actually, she was like, but I want to see you graduate. And I was like, no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I was like, you wait till my siblings graduate. But my dad, I didn't actually tell him until the Lord Sugar announcement came about.
Wow. So how long was that like after dropping out?
It was like 8 months.
Wow.
I hid it the whole time. I would tell him like I'm going uni and I would go to the office or like things like that. Because I was scared. I was like, oh my God, what is he going to do?
Taking your books out.
Yeah, putting them in my bag. It's so embarrassing.
Just going to uni.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, so when I told him, I had told him that, I was in contact with Lord Sugar about some stuff. And I'm going to go down to Loughton to see him. So I went down to Loughton. And then when I came back, my dad picked me up from the train station. He was like, oh, how was it? And I was like, oh, yeah. He's going to give me £250,000. And I dropped out of uni 8 months ago. And he was like, what? I was like, what?
Let's give him that. Give him the news beforehand.
That's crazy. So how did the whole situation with Lord Sugar go down? Because that's obviously an insane story. And for someone as young as you to be like, obviously they have the apprentice and stuff like that, but like obviously in your situation, it's absolutely like an incredible opportunity. How did that come about and stuff like that?
So I think it was a lot of right place, right time kind of thing. Because I found out later, had really wanted to get into jewellery. Mm-hmm. And when I basically just emailed him. I just emailed him and his team, and I was really persistent. Like over the course of like a couple of weeks, I sent him email after email after email, like, and not even just him. I didn't know his email, so I emailed everyone on his team, everyone at Amshold or Amsfest, both of his websites. I just found emails and I just started sending messages, and they probably thought like, what the hell is crazy stalker woman like wants to talk to Lord Sugar. I was like, let me talk to him. I want to talk to him. Whatever. I wanted advice or something, and I think it came from I was watching The Apprentice with my mom, and she was like, oh, you could do that, and I was like, no. I couldn't. But then I stalked his social media, and he was like tweeting that small businesses reach out to me, I will help you and whatever. That's during lockdown. During lockdown, he wanted to do that because he has this thing where he really wants to see young people succeed. Yeah. And so I reached out to him on Twitter. He didn't respond. Obviously, he's probably getting so many tweets. So then that's when the email started. And then one day on a Sunday, on like a Saturday night or something, I get an email back, and it's literally from Lord Sugar. Oh. And he put in the email, like, you know, the header thing that comes through. He just put Lord Sugar in capitals. And I was like, yeah, it's a prank, whatever. I just put my phone down and just left it. And then on Sunday night, he resends it. And I look at it, and it's actually from his email address. And I'm like, oh God, like, why did I make Lord Sugar do this?
Just left Lord Sugar on red.
Yeah, just left him on red. It was so bad. So then he was like, yeah, come down and see me. And then that's kind of how everything just went about.
So what's he like? What's actually Lord Sugar like as like a person? Like, how often do you see him?
Did you go to the Gherkin?
What?
Did you go that building called Gherkin?
He's not there. He's based in Loughton.
Filmed somewhere else, isn't it? Yeah.
He's not even based there. But he, so we have like monthly board meetings, and obviously he travels the world, so he's like everywhere. So every like couple of weeks, I'll get like a notification on my phone on WhatsApp, and it'll be a video, of jewellery in a market store in a random country. I'm not joking. Shall I show you one?
Yeah, that's sick. What, from him?
From him.
That's incredible. That's
he is
crazy.
So funny. It's just like video after video of like marketplace, like jewellery.
Wow, that's absolutely
like random.
insane.
It's funny, his name's genuinely Lord Sugar.
That's incredible.
It's saved as Lord Sugar.
So everyone, just a gentle reminder to sign up to the UK's greatest side hustle, sneaker reselling, air fryer reselling. Basically, we resell anything that's got a profit on it. And if you want to learn about products that are coming out, when they're coming out, so you can buy them, sell them for a profit, link is in the description. Like the TV show, that kind of portrays him as like a ruthless guy.
Yeah, like a villain. But I don't think he is. Like, I think like having invested in like he's invested in other young people as well. Like it's for him like a way of helping, like. Because I think his story as well, he didn't come from much. So he's very open about wanting to help other young entrepreneurs become what they want to be.
Yeah. So like obviously when you went down to the meeting and stuff like that, how did it kind of go then? So you just had basically explain the business, explain what you was doing, and like how did he end up like taking on the business? Like what happened there?
Yeah, so I was like 40 minutes late. I was so late. Yeah, because I'd never been to London before. And I was like, yeah, I'll be there. And then I got on the tube and I was like, this is so horrible. I was like, I don't know where I am. I'm in this tunnel. I don't know what I'm doing. Got no reception. So I got lost and I was really late. And because his office is like on all the way on the outside of London. It's in like Essex, like so far. So when I got there, I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. They picked me up from the train station, like, a black car. And I was like, oh my God, it's scary. I was like, scary. But yeah, so then I went into the meeting and his office block, like it's not that big, it's not massive. Yeah. But when I went up the stairs and his door was open, right? And he had this big round table and he was at the end of the table there.
Daunting.
Yeah, literally. God. And there was like two grown men here, two grown men there, and I was strolling up the stairs, and I've got my summer dress on, and I'm like, I've got my jewellery with me, guys. And I'm like, I didn't come dressed for the occasion. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm very scared because I was still 18. I was like 18 and these guys were like 40 plus and they're all wearing suits and I'm like, what, am I in the right place? Like it was so overwhelming.
I can imagine.
Yeah, it was really intimidating. But I just was normal. I had some adrenaline rush about me. I was like, yeah, whatever. I was just talking to them like normal as if I knew them and just talking to him. I was like, yeah, here's my jewellery. Like, have a look. And he's like touching it. He's like, oh, so is it solid gold then? And I was like, no, but that's what I want you to think when I'm wearing it. Yeah. And he was like, oh, great. Like whatever. Like he was fine. And then he was there for kind of like 20 minutes and he was like, all right, I'm off to Paris now or something like that. And he just left. And
See you in a bit.
Sorry, bye. And the other guys were there and they had like my company accounts or something like that. Yeah. And they were like, they like started opening them and looking at them and everything was quiet. And I was like, okay, so I started opening them and looking at them as well. I was like, what they're looking
copy
at.
You.
I was like, right, whatever you're doing. And then after a while, they were like, yeah, right, let's just go into the boardroom. And I was like, what's that, the board? Because that's what they say in The Apprentice, right? Like the boardroom was like, I was like, okay. So we went into the boardroom. It was not the Apprentice boardroom. Yeah. But yeah, Lord Sugar had gone and his team was just like, okay, so he wants to invest in your business. And I was like, okay, all right then. And they were like, yeah, okay, this is the terms. Like, go home and think about it. And I was like, yeah, I'll go home and think about it. I'd already decided I wanted it at that point. I was like, yeah, I was going to say yeah. So I left and then I was like, yeah, I just read that email with all the contracts and stuff. And I was like, yeah, that's it. Like, that's literally all that happened. It was so casual that I didn't even realise that. Like, I didn't even, do you know what I mean? It wasn't a significant, massive thing that had happened. It just happened the way it did.
What was his thoughts on like using social media as like marketing basically? Is he all for that or does he
have like direct input into that kind of thing? Or is he just like...
No, so we're deadlocked 50-50. So he's got 50% of the business, but he doesn't have any... he doesn't care what I do. He literally doesn't care. Yeah. He's like, just get on with it. Just do what you do. Because I was previously making money. I was doing good enough, like for him. Yeah. So he was like, yeah, we'll do it, but let's just do more. Let's grow more, and let's make more money than you're making at the moment. So he was just like, whatever strategy, whatever thoughts you have, just do it. The only thing they really do is kind of manage the accounts, like manage the money, do the legal stuff, like the boring stuff that I didn't want to do. Yeah. That's it. They don't really care what you do.
So if you need like a document drafting up, you just send it to his team.
Yeah.
And like employment contracts and stuff like that.
Yeah, need a payment made, they make it like just like that.
Yeah. And does he have like people who you can go to? Like let's say like an employee like did something or like I can't think like, does he offer like can you go speak to his advisors?
Yeah, his advisor. I'm always texting, calling him. Yeah. Every little random thing. Even like when I was like when I first got my office, like and my team was bigger, I was like, his name's Mike. I was like, Mike, do I need to get a fridge for these people to put their lunch in? He was like, yeah, Marnie, okay. Like every little thing I will ask them and they'll just be able to help me. And in a way that's been really good because I'm so young, there's a lot of life that I haven't lived. So there's a lot of stuff that I don't know. And it's good because they're all so old. Like they just know so many things.
Yeah, it also keeps you focused on what you know best, really.
Exactly.
Literally. Like you keep focusing on making the money, and like he just like deals with all these other things. And it's like for us, like the amount of times where we've come into like situations like this, and like we do. I think in the past, although we have someone now who kind of like helps us and stuff like that, in the past there's like loads of these little things like that where we're like we don't even know what to do. Like I've never worked a normal job. Like you know, so I don't know anything.
Yeah.
Like you said, I don't know if to buy a fridge or not. Like
Yeah.
I don't think I was supposed to be had a fridge at our last office, but you know, it's things like that, like random questions that you obviously need help with.
Yeah.
And, you know, I think for people who, you know, are starting businesses, it's always been, why would you not want to reap information from like someone who's done everything? Like you can literally grow so much faster because it's slow to like make the mistakes and like learn. And obviously it's like not traumatizing, but it's like
you kind of have to make mistakes to learn from it, really, in every step of business that I found, really.
But even like having them has been like, there's been times where I've kind of been a bit headstrong where I'm like, you know, I'm not going to ask them, I'm just going to do it myself. And then I get it all wrong and I mess up literally because I just was stubborn about it. So like, and as well, when you're an entrepreneur, you're so like, I want to do it my own way all the time. And you guys know you always want to do it your own way.
You want to do it now and fast.
Yeah, you just want to do it. Yeah,
just
exactly. However way, whichever way you find you want to do it. And having to take that extra step of, okay, I've got to go to these guys now. I've got to be like, all right, when do you guys have some time? And then finding when they have time, getting a meeting with them. And then, do you know what I mean? I'm too impulsive for that. Like I can't, sometimes I can't be bothered for the whole process. So I just do it. And then when it's wrong, I just apologize. I just say, sorry, I should have asked you guys.
Did they ever like not tell you off, but like, did they ever like, if you do something wrong, they're like, why didn't you come to us or like stuff like that?
No, do you know what it is? Because I'm an owner in the business and Lord Sugar's an owner in the business and they work for Lord Sugar. There's like, they can't tell me off.
They're just advising you.
They can't tell me off. They're just advising me. Like they will never say, Marnie, that's wrong or you're not allowed to do that. Then they just will never do that. But there's times where they'll be like, okay, especially I always have this problem because when I was doing it by myself, obviously when it was a much smaller scale, I didn't have to deal with accountants and sending this invoice and that receipt and blah, blah, blah. I hate it. I hate maths. I hate numbers. I don't want to look at any of it. And for them, it's like, can you send me this? Because I need it for the VAT return or whatever. I need this, I need that. And I'm like, it's really bad. I just ignore the emails, right? I just ignore the emails. And I think in my head, I'll get back to it when I want to. And then I just forget. And so they'll kind of be like, I know you feel like we're badgering you, but please can you send us those invoices? And it's just like that kind of thing. But they will never
be doing anything else but that right now.
Exactly. Like, literally anything else. Like,
I think for all business owners, like I hate doing all them things as well. Like I hate like all these little like rubbish tasks of like
finicky tasks.
Yeah, like employment contracts, accounts and stuff
it's like
that.
Isn't there someone else that can do this? But there is no one else that can do it.
100%. You probably need like an assistant who can like go through all your stuff and like do everything for you.
You need a person like Max.
Yeah.
Max loves that stuff.
Yeah, literally. But like, what's your team like now? Like, how many people are there part of the team? You know, what does everyone do?
So lots of people do different things, but we have, because we're a very small business, we have a lot of combined roles.
Yep.
So the girls that I have in the office, I just call them studio assistants. So they just like assistants in the studio for, you know, pick and packing. They do social media, kind of. For me, building my team was about everything that's in my brain needs to be executed, but everything that's in my brain is like 5 people takes to execute it. Like it's so much going on. So it's like, nobody has a set specific role. Like I don't have a social media manager and this person. It's kind of like we all
intertwined.
Yeah, we share. They all share roles because it works so much better. Nobody gets bored that way.
It's like a proper team, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like a proper. It's a nice team as well. Like we're all girls in the office, and then we work with freelancers and agencies that are like all women as well.
Really?
They're all women. Now that I'm trying to think about it, and I don't think I actually have any men on my team other than like Lord Sugar's people. But yeah. Not by purpose. I'm not discriminating. But
Yeah.
It's
yeah, literally. So how many people are on the team?
So at the moment 4, and then just the rest are like agencies and stuff.
So like I guess like advertising agencies and stuff like that. So what is your actual experience with like paid advertising and stuff like that? I feel like every business owner probably says the same thing. It's like
especially with agencies.
Yeah,
agencies are the worst.
So bad. So in the beginning, I didn't know anything about ads and stuff, and with I don't know like how much I should say, like how daring I feel right now. So it's like so there's another agency in Lord Sugar Circle, right? And they looked after our ads for a while, and they were so terrible, they were so bad, and it put me off Facebook ads and Google and things like that for so long. And that was like 3-4 months of in the beginning of the investment where it completely threw me off.
Yeah.
Because obviously Lord Sugar would say, look, you're pumping out this much money into the ads. Why is it not coming back? And I would be like, I don't actually know. I don't actually know.
Like, surely that's their job. Like,
You're like, I literally don't know. And so then, they were there for like a couple months. And then after that, I found an agency. And then this agency was like, okay, but it wasn't amazing. It wasn't significant that it was impressing me.
Was that the one that it was, because last time we met you at CEO Cast, you was telling us about this one who's like paid for, it was like they basically took commission of whatever they made. It was that agency?
A lot of agencies, most agencies do that though, to be honest. They all take like a percentage of what they make profit wise. But so the second agency, they would take 10% of profit after 10 grand.
Yeah.
Which was okay. It wasn't like too
bad
much of a
deal,
dent.
I guess,
it wasn't bad, but it's not good.
Yeah.
So I was kind of like, okay, well, let's try this out for a while. If they make me a decent amount of money, I'll keep them. So it was like 6 months in, and then still not enough money.
Yeah.
And then after like 6 months, the guy who was in charge of my Facebook account, his account got hacked because he didn't have 2-factor authentication on, right? So some idiot like ran Slim Tea ads through our account, spent 20 grand, yeah.
Fucking hell.
Yeah. Spent 20 grand on ads and obviously out of my ads manager. So I was like
fuming.
Yeah, I was fuming. I was like 20 grand. How did you guys overnight? How did you let it happen? And then obviously I pressured the agency so much, and then they paid off the 20 grand, which was good. But then I cut them off. I was like, I can't use you guys now. But I've had this new ads girl for like 2 months now. She's a lot better. And I think my mistake in the beginning was going with ad agencies that don't understand the market.
Yeah.
If you don't understand young, fashionable people, you are never going to be able to get my ads right. Because I just thought, okay, people run ads, they know how to run ads, but they don't know how to run ads to the right people. But so I'm trialing this now. But it's it's been a year and a bit of investment now since since Lord Sugar came on board. This whole year has been using the money to trial this and see if this works and see if that works and do things like that.
So do you know what ads you're running right now? Are you running like Google ads?
We're doing Facebook ads at the moment.
Just Facebook
Just
ads?
Facebook. Okay. No Google. Except we have Google Shopping, like the Google feed thing, but no ads.
You've not done TikTok ads?
TikTok, we're moving into TikTok.
Oh, yeah.
TikTok I did previously myself and it worked really well, but with TikTok, you know how like on Facebook you can keep an ad running for months and months if it works. With TikTok, after 3 days it's gone. You have to
Well, like delete the ad or like you just like
No,
like it
just
just dies. It's just finished. You have to find a new creative and a new.
I wonder if it's because of like the exposure, like how many people it's like.
Maybe.
Everybody sees it straight away and then it's done.
It's just the nature of TikTok, and it's just a fast video. It dies after
just
a while.
quick, yeah.
I feel like when I see an ad on TikTok though, I get spammed by it so much. Like I see the same ad over and over.
That does happen.
I keep getting hit by this one at the moment, and it's actually an agency one, and he's stood
No,
with, like,
I just saw that on the train on the way.
He literally stood there with the computer. He's like, Facebook ads aren't working right
He's
now.
like, you want to run TikTok ads, don't ya?
I feel like one person just runs an ad, and I just get hit by it all the time. I can't remember what the one was before that, but
to be fair, I see them all the time, and like as soon as I clock that it's an ad though, I'm like, yeah, fuck that.
Yeah,
Like,
but what's good about TikTok is that the ads, it's easy to make your ad look native.
Yeah,
like
it is.
it's really easy to make it look like you're just scrolling and it just is a TikTok. And people love it, and those are like the best converting ads come from videos and story placements and things like that, because people are just scrolling and clicking on them.
Literally. It's insane. So like you're just running Facebook ads at the moment.
Facebook at the moment.
Like what's the conversion like on stuff like that? Do you know?
Yeah, so the previous agency I said, which was not that great, they were converting at like a 2.3, barely after like 6 months. And I was like, well, you're not even improving, like nothing. This new girl was a 2.3 in her first week. By the end of the month, she was on a 4.5.
mad.
That's lovely.
She is lovely. She's so good. I'll give you a number if you want. Like, she's great, man. If you guys need ad agencies, like, she's the one. She's like, because you know what it is? I realise that old people who are like 30, 40 plus, well, 30 is not old, but like 30, 40 plus, they don't know. They're never going to understand it.
Like
because if you don't use social media regularly, you're never going to understand what looks natural on the platform. So they just can't do it. Like, it's just never worked for me with like a more mature agency. It's like the younger people these days as well. People like us, like our age, the talent is there. They're doing amazing things.
So is it just her on her own, like running around?
No, she has an agency. She's a full agency. But yeah, we work with her, and then my email marketing agency is so good as well. We generate like 40% of sales through email marketing.
Really?
Wow. Yeah.
So like, how much of your customers like returning customers? I will imagine at least 40% of it's like email marketing.
I would say like 18 to 20% returning customers. The point of my product is that it's so good you don't ever have to come back. Like it just lasts
like
you.
you say, it lasts
years,
isn't it? So
I suppose people want more jewellery though.
Yeah, they come back for more basically.
That's amazing. But that's like the best thing. And like one thing I always say is like, if your product's amazing, then that's like the hardest thing is having like an amazing product, really.
Yeah.
And it's like if you've got that, you're
itself.
basically bound to win. Like you're bound
much.
to be
It really
successful.
does. If you got that good of a product, you literally just like just
sells
word of mouth,
itself,
like word of
yeah.
mouth marketing. It'll just
Yeah.
take it around for sure.
So I think a cool little thing to talk about is like, so when we met you for the first time, we was doing TikTok and stuff like that, but we was doing like stuff that wasn't necessarily related to the business.
Yeah.
And you was telling us about your TikTok that did like 1.6 million and it
Yeah.
sold out your store overnight.
That was 4.6 million actually.
Okay, well,
Get it
tell us
right.
a story
Get it
about
right.
that. Shut me down. But tell us about that story because that's like an incredible story. And I think for
Yeah.
people who still aren't decided on TikTok, that's kind of
This
like
is what converted us.
Yeah.
Yeah, but even better than that, there's even more these days that TikTok can do for you. But back then, there was no TikTok shop, there was no affiliate stuff, or there was no live shopping, nothing. It was just videos, and it was videos that couldn't convert to a shop within TikTok. They had to bring them all the way to your website, so it was even more difficult to get sales through TikTok. So I posted every day at 9 p.m. at night for 6 weeks. I posted a TikTok every single day without fail, and like on the 6th week, the video that I posted was a stupid video. It was such a dumb video. I look back at it and think, why did that get views? It blew all the way up. Like it was like,
It was a trend video, wasn't it? If I remember.
yeah, it was like sick. I wasn't even talking. Like it was nothing. I showed the jewelry for like 2 seconds. Like, it was nothing, and it was a hook that got people because it said, "Are you the girl that sells jewelry that won't turn my screen green?" or something silly like that.
Yeah.
Because I'd seen that was a problem because there was trending at the time. Again, like the guy with the chain, and it was going green. So that hook kind of drove people to the website. So it was like it started normal, whatever. Posted at 9, had my dinner, went to bed, and then I loved leaving my phone on loud because I loved hearing that Shopify notification every time. I'm like, I love it. So I put my phone down, and then I'm like falling asleep, whatever, and it goes ka-ching. I'm like, nice, ka-ching. I'm like, what? Ka-ching, 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 ka-ching. It just goes, it keeps going like, and you know what? I pick up my phone and it's just like, I'm like watching it. And it's like going. And I'm like, what is going on? What the hell's going on? I'm so confused. I'm like, is it a glitch or something? Like, I don't know what's going on. So I'm trying to use my phone to like go and see, like click on Shopify. I can't click on Shopify. I click on the app, it crashes again and again and again. Yeah, like I couldn't.
Really?
Yeah, I couldn't like, and like my phone, I think I had like a 6S at the time. I couldn't cope with the volume of what was going on. And, so I was like, okay, something's happened. So then I figured out that it was on TikTok, and the TikTok was like going up. It was on 400k views, then 600, then 700. And then it was, before I fell asleep, it was on like 900k. Yeah, so I was like, this is amazing. It's going to hit 1 million. Oh my God. I was like, yeah, it's
This
a million.
first big video, yeah.
Yeah, it's my first biggest video. And so when I woke up in the morning, it was on like 2.5 million, and the orders were still coming in. And then it just kept going up, and the orders kept coming until my whole website was sold out. I had nothing left to sell.
Can you remember what your website traffic was?
No, I couldn't remember. I could check. I remember the period at the time.
Yeah. It's an amazing feeling when like a TikTok blows up and you're just getting like views after views.
Yeah,
you're refreshing
insane.
and the video numbers just going up.
Insane.
It's an incredible feeling.
There's nothing like that. When a TikTok just starts blowing up, it literally
TikTok is so good.
insane, isn't it?
It's just a prime example of how TikTok
gosh.
can market your business like no other platform, really.
Okay, I think it was like, what year was it? What year was COVID? Like 2019?
Yeah, 2019, 2020.
Okay, maybe 2019 then. And it was like August time. Maybe it was 2020.
Yeah, it's probably 2020.
I've been doing TikTok for a million years at this point. 2020.
When we
January,
met,
March,
I
April,
didn't
May.
even use TikTok, mate. I was like so against it.
Yeah, but we
wasn't
started
against
making like
those.
some videos that were like, but there was more like lifestyle videos, so they weren't like.
Yeah, I
They
remember
weren't
that.
converting. Do you think TikTok's getting harder to go viral?
Yeah, definitely. TikTok has slowed down quite a lot.
Do you think that's
And
because so many people are posting?
no, I think it's because what they're trying to do is become a shoppable platform. Like what they've brought on board now is TikTok live shopping and
Really
TikTok.
pushing it, aren't they?
They're pushing it so much. They actually pay us to go on live. They
Oh,
literally
so
pay us
do
to go
it?
on. Yeah, we do it. And it's been amazing. Like on our first hour we ever did, we made £1,400.
Really?
And all it was I was just standing there and chatting shit for an hour. I was like, this is my jewellery and you can buy it and this,
Yeah.
and people just love it. They love it. And it's like so QVC, old school
Yeah,
style,
it
but
is.
people love it so
It's
much.
like, it is like proper like daytime shopping TV. Like
Proper-
it's mad, isn't it?
It's crazy, and people do it like so much. They push it really, really hard, and TikTok will like subsidize discounts. So, for example, if I give my customers 20% off, TikTok will pay me that.
Wow.
They'll give it back.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what Ash was
And
telling
also
us.
free shipping as well.
Yeah. So does that use TikTok Shop where like does that use like the TikTok Shop feature, or is that like use your website?
Yeah, so it's through TikTok Shop. So it's beneficial because we don't pay for shipping. We get our discounts paid back to us. It gets paid to us in 2-3 days. You get an account manager.
Yeah.
So good. It's so good. But the only thing with TikTok Shop, what they want is like, you know how you have your like Chinese sellers and things like that?
Yeah.
When they sell a product on like, I don't know, AliExpress or Alibaba or anything, and you have to have a long ass name with like all the descriptions, like this is the ring, this is, and it's just like 3 lines.
Yeah.
You have to name all your products that way.
Really?
Yeah. So to me, it makes it look like, do people trust that? Like, I don't think I would trust it. I would think it was coming from like China.
Yeah.
But obviously it's not. We ship out of Birmingham, mate. Like, it's not coming out of China. And it's hard to kind of push people to trust this platform because it's very new.
Yeah.
But also, you get a lot of sales out of this.
Yeah.
So many sales because people are impulsive. And you know what it is? If people are like, okay, can I see this ring up close? I will show it to them and they'll just buy it straight away.
Yeah.
Literally
Incredible.
like,
Yeah.
isn't it?
So how does it work with TikTok Shop? So do you like send your stuff off to like TikTok Shop?
No. So you have like a back end similar to Shopify and they pay for your shipping through Every.
Yep.
So you print off the label, you pack it, and the Every comes and collects
Yeah.
it for you. That's it.
And you just basically like list your stuff on there.
Yeah. It's like listing my stuff on like Amazon or something. It's the same stuff. Like
Yeah.
you can just do anything with it.
We've had so many, like, Ash that owns this Creole brand, knows someone called ISO Clean.
Oh yeah. ISO Clean is like so popular on TikTok right
Yeah,
now.
and he was telling us, like, what they're doing with TikTok Shop, and he just said it's, like, he was telling us about all
Blown
the
up.
incentives that they're doing, and it's just blowing up.
Yeah, blown
Just
all the way
sounds
up.
mad. He
But
was
it's
telling me
very,
he's
very
jumped on
time
it.
consuming.
Yeah. How long have you been doing it for?
So like 2-3 months right now. But we had on our last live, something happened. This is why I'm not allowed to pack orders anymore in the office. So it's not been my job for a while, right?
Yeah.
But when we do our live, so we'll do a live on like the evening one day, and the next day we'll do a live in the morning packing those orders ready to ship out. People love the packing order. They come back from the evening, they watch their orders getting packed, and they buy more.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy. It's actually
ridiculous.
crazy to me. So yeah, I was like, okay, let me get involved. And I'm like, okay, I'm packing your order. Anyway, somehow I managed to mix up 12 orders.
Shit.
Like 6 people got 6 other people's orders and they got each other's orders basically. And I was like, okay, well, we can't go on TikTok Live until this is sorted out now. Otherwise they're going to slate me on there. I'm like anxious. So we had to sort that out. It took us like 2 weeks to sort that out. So we haven't done TikTok for a while, but, it's one of the best things that we do, other than the fact that it's so draining. It's so draining. And it's like, even if you're an extrovert, there's only so much talking you can do. Because they say on TikTok Live, you have to say the same thing every 5 minutes because your click-through rate is so quick.
Yeah. Just like
People come and
convert
go. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And it comes up on your For You page. Have you ever like seen something on your For You page and you're scrolling and you just hear something and you think, what the hell? Let me go click on that.
Yeah.
You got to be like that. You got to say things like that. They're going to catch people and every couple of
Yeah.
minutes.
Basically.
Even on the
Yeah.
live, like when it comes up in like my feed,
Yeah.
I literally like, because you can like tap into it, can't you?
Yeah.
I don't like tap into the lives. I
Yeah.
literally just watch it from there, and then like if you say something in 5 seconds, I'm just like gone.
Yeah, literally, that's what they do. That's what people do, and then they get converted so easy. Like the way that if we get like, I don't know, 100 viewers, like 80 are gonna buy. Genuine,
Really?
it's genuinely. Like if we have 100 people watching for 10 minutes, 80 of them are gonna spend money here. Like that's what it's like. And you know what it is? TikTok is so smart. They push the lives to people who spend money.
Yeah,
because you know on TikTok,
I don't really see them that much.
yeah,
so I've
in the
never bought
TikTok
anything.
ads, like when in the ads manager, when you run ads, they give you when you're doing like the targeting stuff, whatever, they give you an option where it's like send to like someone who's like your exact target audience, or like someone who's going to be the one to spend the most money. Like,
Mad.
yeah,
Really?
yeah, they give you the
Wow.
option. Yeah, it's worded differently. I can't remember what it says,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
that's the gist of it.
So how many like views do you get like throughout it? Like how many people are like watching constantly live? Is it like up and down?
Some people watch the whole way through and they come back for every. I'm not joking. Some people genuinely they watch
That's
the whole way
insane.
through. It'll be like a 2-hour live, and they'll be like working from home and just have us there on the phone
That's
on the.
that's
Yeah.
That is
crazy.
insane. That.
Yeah, and we'll talk to them and we'll like remember their names, and they'll keep coming back, and they'll be the ones to keep buying every single
Yeah.
time because like we interact with everyone, and yeah, like we get, I think on like after payday the lives will go up to like, I don't know, they can range, and it ranges a lot. Like it can be 50 or it can be 1,000. Like
Yeah.
it ranges so much, but the way that people buy on there is just insane. I can't go over it. The way
Is
that
it
people do
literally
that.
just like through Apple Pay that they're paying?
Yeah, pretty much. Like you just click on TikTok and you just do it.
So you can buy while actually still watching the live.
Yeah, you can buy from my TikTok shop now on my TikTok.
Yeah.
Even if I'm not on live. But when I'm on live, when you do lives, they incentivize you by obviously giving you the discounts.
Yeah.
And then also people want to see things up close. They want to see them styled. They say like, or a lot of the things that happen, I have this one staff member, she's like fully like tattooed and like she's got colourful hair. She wears so much jewellery.
Yeah.
Every time someone comes on, they're like, what is she wearing? And they'll buy the exact set of what she's wearing.
That's crazy.
The exact set.
Yeah.
So like, you know, we literally started like the things that don't sell, we put them on her and then they get sold in the live. Like it's like people want to see people. They just want to see people because they want to buy from people.
Really, innit?
Yeah.
It is.
They just want to be us. They just want to copy. But yeah.
So like when you're watching it, like obviously when you're doing the TikTok live, is it like 50 to 1,000 during each live, or do you think it like varies day by day? And it's interesting how you said that like on payday you get more views because it's like obviously at payday.
Yeah. So on payday we do payday lives and payday weekend lives. Those ones. I thought that if we did them around payday time, they would convert better. Like we would get a lot more sales, but. For us, it's just been about the same.
Really?
It's not been that different.
I guess people aren't waiting out to like.
Yeah, they're not because we will do it at like 10 a.m. on a Wednesday morning and we'll still make money. Like people will just buy. And it's like, what are you guys doing? Because they'll be at work and they'll be like, okay, I feel shit. I need something to make me feel better. Let me just spend this money. That's what they do. But, yeah.
That's absolutely crazy. It's crazy how they're pushing it so much. So do you think that that's actually like the reason why like TikToks are like slowing down? Because like, we've definitely noticed like some kind of slowdown like recently in terms of just like talking videos and stuff like that. It's almost like the algorithm's like changed, and obviously it's constantly adapting. But like, have you noticed that as well? Or
I think, do you know what it is? In ourselves, we become so complacent with our content. Mm-hmm. Like we make one type of content and we're like, yeah, this works well. Then the next week it doesn't work and we're like, okay, why is it not? Move on. It's been a week.
Yeah,
like
it's so fast TikTok.
It's so fast. Like it's so quick. It's unreal. You have to keep up with it. If you see something that's got views, go and replicate it. If you see something that's working, go and do it. Like we're so biased towards our own content 100%. That we're like so selfish. We don't realize that, you know, there's different types of stuff out there that are going to just work better.
100%. That's a very good, and I think that for people watching who are like, you know, doing their own business and stuff like that, that's a great point, is that like, you know, constantly change and adapt like your modern stuff like that.
Follow the trends, and the trend on TikTok is swapping literally day by day. So like after this we're going to go and film public stuff, aren't we? Yes. Which is literally popping right now on TikTok.
Right now it's just like, I just don't understand it. I don't know what the appeal is. But people love it. They just want to see people in the street. Like, do you know, I think that's always been a thing on TikTok though, relatability. Like, people want to see people that are like them. Yeah. And they're like, what's more like someone than another person in the street, right? Like, people just love it.
It's like an everyday Joe, isn't it? Everyday person.
Yeah, 100%. And it's like not like prank videos and stuff like that, but it's like them things have been massively viral in the past, like especially on YouTube, like when
Public
YouTube was very popular.
Like
obviously it's still very popular now, but like when YouTube was like one of the like main platforms.
Oh my god, like those ones in London that were like, bet you not skirts at Westfield. Like, did you ever see those ones?
No, I don't think
what? Was that like a Midlands London thing? Because that was so popular, and it was like this stupid thing where this guy would like go around with a mic and just be like, tell us about your ex or something dumb like that. You guys never saw that?
Nah.
The one I keep seeing right now is like, I'll give you £5 or I'll give £10 to the
Yeah, I love that. Yeah. That's actually quite sweet. That is a sweet one.
I've seen Mr. Beast do it. Yeah. Mr. Beast did like, I'll give you £1,000, I'll give the next person £10,000, and you just absolutely shit on the guy.
That's crazy, to be fair. But yeah, it's like, the thing is with TikTok though, it's like, you know, people are always like looking to consume content, and I think that's like TikTok started like this new trend of like constant like this new way of like consuming content, and it's like constantly like people just want to see like different video after different video after different video, and like if you're not a business doing it, it's like you're missing out on it. Like, how much time do you spend on TikTok like a day?
Too much. Way
How much
too
is
much.
that too much?
Like, I'm always on TikTok.
Yeah.
Even when I'm doing something else, I'm on TikTok. Like, you just, it's so natural to be doing something and just, you know, before you know it, you've got your phone out and you're already on TikTok. You didn't even plan that.
You're like hooked in instantly, aren't you?
Yeah. You just do it. Or like, I find myself, I'll be like, on my emails on my phone, and then I'll swipe it up, and then I'll swipe back on TikTok. Why am I going on TikTok? I didn't come on my phone to do that.
Yeah.
It just happens.
It's like muscle memory now, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like muscle memory. It's become so natural to us to just want to watch TikTok that it's just ridiculous if you're not on it, if you're not using it.
100%. It's like it sucks you in. It's like literally like when people are watching, sometimes they're not even like well, obviously like it happens all the time. No one's
you're not
even
absorbing
listening.
what's going on.
You're just like in your own world, just like literally like soaking in. It's absolutely insane. And I think the thing is with Instagram Reels as well is like you said before, you feel like Instagram Reels, like algorithms catching up to TikTok with like the virality. But if you go, the thing is with like Instagram, if you go viral, people can DM you and stuff like that. That the connection that people can have on Instagram is absolutely like, it's way bigger than kind of like the TikTok connection. Although people have like, they love TikTok, you still can't get that kind of like personal connection where you can with like Instagram.
Yeah.
And I think that's why it's
But people forget like your audience on Instagram is always going to be different from your TikTok audience. Like when they go viral in completely different ways.
Yeah.
So when we had those viral videos on TikTok, if I had got 4.5 million at TikTok on Instagram at that time, it would have resulted in even more because the audience is more mature, older, ready to spend money. But on TikTok, because they're like 14 to 18, pretty much like normal, like people like our age use it as well, but because it's so easy for younger people to use it, the traffic can be like so rubbish sometimes.
We found that the traffic,
like
it can create a lot of traffic, but it's not converting because it's obviously just bad traffic.
Yeah. But then you do like a different, I think even sometimes it like totally depends on the TikTok you do. If you do a different TikTok, it converts way different because, obviously it's going to different people. Like the algorithm on TikTok it's definitely a lot more, not mature than like Instagram's algorithm, but it's like, it definitely works in like totally different ways. Like it understands people.
But it's also
better.
important to have both platforms. Like
100%,
if people see you on TikTok, that they can find it difficult to trust you if you don't have Instagram.
I know, they
that's
click straight
performing
through
the
to
same.
Instagram, that's what we
Yeah,
found.
like, and I find sometimes I look at these brands and they've got like 500k on TikTok and I click through and you've not even got 10k on Instagram. What are you doing? Like, why are you wasting the content that you already have there and not growing this platform so you can be more trustworthy?
Straight to Instagram, really.
Yeah.
Do you have any pages that like, or brands or anything like that who you really like admire the work of on like social media?
I like Looks Collective. You've seen them, right?
Yeah.
I really like their TikToks. They're really cool.
We've done a podcast with it.
Did you?
Yeah.
Ben,
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna watch
He's
that.
really, honestly, he's such a nice guy.
Yeah, they're so cool, and it comes across on camera, and that's what's really important is that people can see what the person is like and feel like you know what, this person's nice. Let me just drop them a follow. Like people genuinely do that.
Yeah.
We actually copied his TikTok the other day and he commented on ours saying, like, what was he commenting?
Yeah, he commented, like, I can't remember, he commented like guys or something.
He was like guys and like a sweaty face.
Yeah.
Was like, oh.
Yeah, to be fair. But we really admire his work and stuff like that. And obviously, it's, quite a lot of it's like quite relatable to stuff like that. And I recreated one of his and I hadn't even seen that he'd done it. But he did it in a way, but his hook was way better than my hook. I think mine did like 500k, his did like millions.
Man.
And his hook was like, it was about Gucci. It was like, is this the true value of Gucci? Because Gucci basically had this like Gucci bag on the website. And it was like £5.70 because it was like a pricing error. So his hook was like, is this the true price of Gucci? Whereas mine was like, you could have got this Gucci bag for like £5, which obviously is still like pretty mad, but like the one of like the true price is like incredible, to be fair. And obviously it relates really well to his brand because he does bags and stuff like that as well. But
During that podcast, he said a lot about TikTok, which
because they're massive on TikTok, and they
Yeah,
have
they
been
are.
from
They are massive.
ages.
they get videos that pop every day.
Yeah.
Like they really, really do.
Because they have a lot of characters. They have a lot of characters. Like the people that they have in the office, like if they have that, you know, the guy with curly hair, like him, and like even himself, and the team is really important because it matters who you put behind the screen. Like if you have people in your videos that are just boring and they're just like draw and like they can't be bothered, people are not going to watch that.
It's like a drama series, isn't it? Like everyone doesn't have the special.
Everyone has to have their little character, their role of like, you know, someone who's fun.
100%. Like people want their brain to be like stimulated kind of thing, innit? So like the more
they want to be
like,
interested.
Yeah, 100%. And that's what I always say. Like the ultimate like factor in like your TikTok success, like obviously with the hook, is like how interesting it is. If your TikTok is extremely interesting, it's gonna go viral. That's the only thing. It's about like making extremely interesting content that people are gonna like engage with. And if you do that, it just works an absolute treat. But are there any like things that you're planning on doing on social media that like upcoming plans or anything like that? Or
so I think firstly I need to stop being so lazy with my social media because I keep seeing people around who are like, everybody is like, even Looks Collective, they switched to not even using their phone to film content ever anymore. Like, I think all their stuff is filmed on camera. So I'm like, okay, people are understanding now. And do you know what it is? You get loads of comments like, oh my god, production quality is so great, and joke comments like that. And so it's like, okay, well maybe I should do everything on camera now. Like TikTok has evolved so much that, like the other day I tried to post a TikTok filmed through the TikTok app and it flopped, completely flopped.
We've never filmed anything through TikTok.
Yeah, because back when I first started, all my viral videos were filmed through a TikTok app, all of them. And now it's like people expect a certain quality from certain people and certain brands, and if you don't give them that, you're just not going to get the views. So I think for us, it's making the switch to doing all our content on camera, which I don't know, which I hadn't been doing before. I'd still been doing things on my phone, and it'd been working okay. But looking at them, they could have done better if they were better quality.
So you editing straight through TikTok?
No, so I just do it on CapCut, but I was filming with my phone and not on camera, and like the quality was good enough, but not not great.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can tell the difference.
Yeah.
Like, just between camera.
And the thing is with like TikTok, if you actually think about it like logically, obviously people are going to compete for like, if people are ever making better content, it's obviously going to be like, going to become a competition, and that's what it's become now. It's like a competition, who can make the best TikTok.
Who can make the best?
Yeah, 100%. And
it's a fight. Like, it's a constant fight of who can get the most views and who can impress viewers the most. Because honestly, your viewers are like the most important, of course. Like, they're the ones who are your judges. They're judging what you're doing all the time, and just, you know, they will unfollow and they will leave hate comments if your comment is not up to scratch.
People on TikTok are
Ruthless.
absolutely ruthless.
Scary.
It's mad.
Yeah, it's absolutely insane. I think like no matter what TikTok you do at this point, like, you're gonna get hate. I rarely see any TikTok that doesn't have hate on it. Like, it's just constant hate after hate after hate. It's crazy, to be fair, and it can put a lot of people off. Like, when I first started doing like social media and stuff like that, I was almost embarrassed to a degree to do it. But I think you just kind of got to get over that like phase of like doing it, and like, you know, just like getting started. That's one of my favorite sayings in life, is like, you just got to do it. You just got to start and like man up and do it. And if you don't, like, you're just gonna get left behind.
Yeah, but the beauty of it as well, being on TikTok, on social media, TikTok has so many filters, like comment filters. I literally turn my comment filters on and I block out like annoying, I block out ugly, I block out all the words I don't want to see, and then I just don't look at them. And it's fine. Like, and you can block people, you can unfollow them, you can delete comments. Like, it's really not that deep. Like,
I'll be honest, I didn't even know they had that feature.
They do, and it's really, you should do it. You should block all the words.
So
you don't
what does
want.
it do? Like, so like people can't comment. Like, it doesn't actually let them leave a comment if you mention a certain.
Their
leave
comment
it, but
goes
it just
through.
won't show.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, they'll think, oh, I've left a great hate comment. I would never see it. I would never look at it.
Because literally, they're only going to leave the comment.
Yeah.
They just scroll on, but they're never going to see the video
And
again.
so like, other viewers, can they see the hate comments as well if you put them filters on?
No.
Oh, that is amazing. We definitely need to
doesn't-
turn that on.
There's one thing.
It doesn't show up on your post unless you approve it.
Yeah.
So like, at the bottom of your comments, it will be like some comments, like, it will say something, and then you click on it and it's got all the comments that you didn't approve, and then you can approve them if you want them to show. But
So like, a thing that we get is we get like competing businesses commenting on our TikToks saying like, join like ours instead.
Yeah, little
And it's
shits.
like,
That's so cheeky.
Yeah,
Block
it is.
them.
Like, innit? I'm definitely getting you all getting blocked, boys. But
There's one thing that Ben
ridiculous.
taught us, like, literally, like, he said, like, literally saying something wrong in your TikTok will generate a lot of comments. And
Yeah.
just boost
Oh, I
your
always
views
do that, or spell things
so
wrong
much.
as well.
Yeah.
What was the one about the football
We've been
teacher?
torn on this. Yeah, I did one. It was the Euros, and I was like, I actually did it by accident at first, but then I clocked it, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna leave this in. Like, fuck them. I basically said the Euros was the World Cup. Like, I was on about like a World Cup T-shirt, so people was like, yeah, you run about like, he was like commenting, basically saying I'd said it
They're
wrong.
often dead clever, like, commenting it.
Yeah.
You're just boosting the algorithm so much.
Do you still do that? Do you still like, say things wrong? Because we've basically been torn about it recently, because we're like, if we keep saying everything wrong, it looks like we don't know shit.
yeah,
So
it makes you lose credibility. But the occasional, like, okay, we posted a video the other day, and this girl was she was talking about this is my outfit, whatever, and this is my jewellery. I got my Vivienne Westwood necklace, and then I got my Tresor ring. And we spelt Vivienne with an A instead of an E.
Yeah.
In the first 5 minutes, someone was like, oh, Vivienne, like, how you fell for my trap. Like, you, like, it was like, sometimes you can do it because it's like, some of the videos that you post are just videos to go viral.
Yeah.
But when you have a brand, the rest of your videos are like, you know, brand awareness and community building and things like that. But your viral videos are just your viral videos. They bring you traffic regardless.
Yeah, I totally get that, to be fair. It's a very good point. And like, we've not really done any like that. Like, every time we've gone to do it now, we've been like, yeah. But to be fair, we've not done it in that long, though, I suppose. Now's probably a good time to start doing it again. But like, putting it in the odd time.
Yeah,
doing it
every now and
but,
again, like,
just every now and again.
Yeah.
When
But
you get one
it
of those
does
videos.
work massively
it
well,
does.
I think.
Because people on TikTok, the trolls feel so accomplished. They feel
So
so accomplished. They love it. Like, they leave the comment, and I just know they feel so proud of themselves. Because it's just like, people like to think they're witty. They like to think they've won. They like to think like, you know, I've made someone else feel stupid. So sometimes it can work out in your favor.
But yeah, that's a crazy one, to be fair. Have you got any like big mistakes that like you think you've made? But obviously, like, you know, we all know that like every mistake is like a lesson.
Yeah.
Like, have you had any like big mistakes you think you've made that have like taught you really valuable lessons?
Like you said, like every mistake is a lesson. Like, you learn from every little thing. And I think, other than the only thing I would say was like the ad stuff that I had a massive problem with. Other than that, I actually like making mistakes. Like, I like it because it's like, how else can I learn? Like, nobody's going to tell me anything unless I do it, get it wrong, and then fix it.
100%. I think that's one thing, like, I like that saying that like every like L is a lesson, like, you know, and that's the only way you're gonna learn. You just got to make a lot of mistakes, and that's what's good about having someone like older who's a mentor in your business. They can basically just like they can just give you all them like lessons.
Yeah.
And like, you know, you can just learn from it and you can skip all that time of like obviously like doing something wrong and then having to fix it, and then they can just like, you know, cut that whole thing out for you. And I think that's just like people you can't be scared of like failing, you know, you just got to like let it be and stuff like that. But other than that, have you got any like things for like Tresor as like a brand? Are you planning on like branching out into like more jewellery and stuff like that, or?
I don't know. Do you know what it is? Tresor is one thing that I do, and it's like not going to be the last thing that I do in my life. Like there are so many more things that can make money in so many different ways, and I'm very interested in doing. Like I feel like I move at like 1,000,000 miles an hour. Like I just have so much going on in my brain and so many things that I always want to do. That Tresor's like my baby. That's my very first business, and I will always have it, and I will always love it. But there is another thing that I'm working on, and then there's things that I would love to work on in the future. Like,
can we hear anything about the thing you're working on?
You're gonna see it in like a newspaper article or something. Okay, like
really?
I hope so. Anyway.
Oh wow, that's interesting. I'm really intrigued now. Can you give us anything?
No,
like, not even like whether it's like.
Do you know why? Do you know what? In like my culture, I think it might be a normal thing as well. Like in my culture, it's like this thing, right? If you tell somebody something when it's unfinished, it will never get finished. Yeah. So I just like. Never
Fair
gonna not open your mouth.
Okay. Oh, I'm intrigued to know now. To be
fair.
fair. Can you not? Oh,
no.
I won't pull it out.
Move on.
Yeah, but yeah. How long have we been going for though?
Yeah,
No,
20
Fucking hell.
Jesus, I don't even know how long we're going
We gotta go
for.
and film some public videos.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you very much for coming on, Marnie.
Thanks for having me.
It's been an absolute pleasure, and I think for everyone listening, this is an amazing podcast for like people who just want to learn about growing their own business and stuff like that. And obviously, there's a lot of lessons and stuff like that in here. But yeah, thank you for coming on. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you very much.
There we go. Bosh.
Done?
Yeah.
Oh my God.